Yeah,
Yeah.
Tammy's going to kick it off a little bit with her introduction, and then you can go ahead and go into your presentation.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us, guys. We've got Nick here. He's going to share a lot of different social media things to help us with, content, and we'll just let him begin.
All right. Thank you for having me on, guys. My name is Nick Tsoukales. I own a company called Realtors here in the Boston area, and I'm going to take you guys through a brief presentation. We're going to try to have some fun here. We don't like to be super serious. I'm sure you've been in a bunch of boring webinars in your life, so we're going to try to keep things kind of poppin' fun, okay? There seems to be a dilemma out there, and the dilemma is everyone knows they need to create social media content, but they're not sure how to do it in advance. They're not sure how to come up with the content. They're not sure if they're supposed to be doing dancing videos on TikTok or if they should be doing market reports. So I'm going to actually show you what we do for our clients, okay? And we have to do this on scale for more than a couple of dozen businesses, including real estate. And in order for us to do this at scale, we have to have systems. Now, when you can apply systems to a small business or a personal brand, a solopreneur brand, it makes you super efficient and super productive, okay? So let's see here. First question I typically get is, why should I listen to you? Who the heck are you? Well, this is who I am. I've used digital marketing to acquire more than 90,000 paying clients for my own small business. We used digital marketing to hit the Inc. 5000 list 3 times. For those of you that don't know what that is the list of the fastest growing private companies in the United States, without big fancy investors, without going public, just good old fashioned, I got a business, we're making it big, okay? And obviously, we generated tens of millions of dollars in revenue and profits as a result of that. So now what I do for a living is I help other entrepreneurs do the same with my marketing agency with Realtors, okay? Before we begin, I'm going to take you guys through some common questions and also some acronyms. The acronyms are going to be very, very important. So if you can, grab a pen and a piece of paper. You do not need anything beyond that. Do not feel the need to take an extensive notebook full of notes, because I'm going to share this PDF with you guys after, okay? So the first question I typically get is, why do I need to be active on social media? It's shocking in 22 that people even ask this question, but they ask me, okay? Like, who cares about social? Well, one of the reasons is Gary Vaynerchuk told us to be active on social. Gary is the founder of VaynerMedia, arguably probably the biggest media company in probably the world at this point. And he has this great quote here that I've loved, okay? Attention is the single most important asset. Good marketing is going where the attention is, okay? If someone is driving down the road and they're staring out into the endless abyss of the freeway for an hour a day, what do? You put a billboard there, right? Their attention is there. Put some marketing there. We're great at doing this in the United States. Wherever someone's eyeballs are going, we seem to have a banner. We've done this with television. You're watching TV, there's a commercial. Radio, commercial. Magazines, you're consuming content. You know, you flip the page on an article you're enjoying, and what do you have? You know, a commercial, okay? A calendar, there's a commercial there. A lot of you guys give out calendars, okay? Now, people's attention more and more is going towards social media, okay? It seems to have slightly flatlined as of the last few years, and I don't have the exact data for 2021, but we can assume it's probably somewhere in the range of 2 hours and 25 minutes. 2 hours in 25 minutes are being spent on social media per day. We've got 24 hours in the day. We're sleeping a bunch, okay? We're sleeping for 7 or 8 hours, okay? So that leaves you a lot less than 24 hours. We're taking showers, okay? We're talking to our kids, we're eating dinner, okay? If you were, we're working. If you were to omit all those things, we're using probably the majority of all of our free time on social media. So our attention is on social. And that's why as entrepreneurs, we want to be on social as well. Now, what is social media? This is a very important acronym, okay? Which is TOMA. And I want you guys to jot this down. Top of mind awareness, okay? People are using social media ads to generate leads, okay? But really, your organic social media isn't necessarily a lead generation tool, okay? Although you will generate some leads from it and you'll get lucky, really the main purpose of social media is creating top of mind awareness, okay? That's really what you're accomplishing here. It does not replace business development. It does not replace advertising, okay? Those are two other lanes, okay? But a good social media strategy is going to keep you top of mind, and it's going to complement your business development, you going out there networking and having lunches, okay? I've worked with businesses before that were, one particular case where we worked with a business that was doing over $10 million in revenue, killing it, hadn't touched social media ever. We started doing social media, and what did he find? His sales dropped, okay? And the reason for that is he stopped doing his business development. He stopped going out there, where social media should be something that complements your business development strategies. It doesn't mean you slow down what you're doing out there, okay? This is probably something you do want to jot down, okay? The three basic marketing pillars, okay? You have a lead gen, business development, and TOMA, okay? Again, these are three different lanes. You want to be doing all three of these, okay? Your business development, especially for your real estate agents, your lunches, your dinners, your events, your networking. You don't want to stop that, okay? Just because you've increased your top of mind awareness through social, okay? And for those of you doing lead generation, it's a separate lane. You're doing your Zillow leads, your mailers, your advertising. It's not one or the other, okay? You should be, a healthy business will typically operate channels in all three of these categories, okay? The other big question we get is, how much content should I be creating? Okay, this is a big one. Okay, so before we begin, let's squash some myths, okay? The first myth is less is more. I hear this all the time from people. Nick, less is more with social media. It's all about just quality. I'd rather do one great post than 10 garbage posts. Well, I'd rather do 10 great posts, okay? Less is more is BS. More is more, okay? As long as you're providing value, okay? And this is the conundrum here. People that typically jump onto one of these seminars, they're having an issue creating posts that they feel provide value. And that's why they're not doing enough of it, because they're not, and they know it, they can feel it, okay? Now, another thing I want to talk about is a starting point, okay? How much content should we be creating? Well, if more is more, okay, technically you could create as much content as humanly possible. If you look at a news channel, they literally have posts throughout the day. Every few minutes they're posting something on Twitter or Facebook, okay? But we need to crawl before we walk, okay? A decent starting point that I use for clients is one post per business day. Okay, again, this is just a starting point. That equates to about 20 posts per month. We're gonna talk, this next acronym is gonna be even more important than the first, okay? Now, how can we provide value for our audience? With. This is very, very important, okay? And with is going to be a question, okay? And this is a great way to test your content. You've created a post, whatever it is, okay? Think of the last post you created. Did you ask yourself before you hit the publish button, what's in it for them? Them being your audience, what's in it for them, okay? This is a question that if you can honestly answer, okay, it basically is the green light to hit the publish button. You're providing value, okay? I'm going to take you through examples of value. Now, how can I create tons of this with test-approved content? And this is where we jump into the intent of this of the seminar here. Okay, we're going to use something called the 5 pillars of content creation. Okay, this is something again we use for clients. You don't have to use this, but it works pretty darn good. The 5 pillars of content creation, although it says here 5 pillars of social media, it really just should say 5 pillars of content creation, because technically you can use this for your email newsletter, you can use this when creating YouTube content, you can use this for any sort of content anywhere for the most part, okay? But obviously we're focusing on social media. The 5 pillars are going to be educate, showcasing work, things happening in the community, corporate or company or even team events, okay? And then we have promotional. So this is something, if you're taking notes, I would jot down these 5 pillars, okay? Again, this is structure. These are categories. And then below each of these categories, we have subcategories, okay? Or examples of subcategories. And this is to get you thinking. Educate. Educate is my favorite of the social media marketing pillars, okay? I have a good friend of mine that spent the last 12 months building a TikTok channel with 1.5 million followers, okay? He did not talk about his company for 12 months, okay? He did not tell people what they can buy from him for 12 months. He literally did 12 months of pure value-based educational content about marketing, actually. He's a fellow marketer. And he built 1.5 million followers on TikTok and about 100,000 on Instagram. So educate, if you're starting out and you only wanted to focus on just one thing for a while, okay? I would say educate is the pillar that you'd want to hang out in. And that consists of things like hacks, tips, how-tos, tutorials, do's and don'ts. A few slides from now, I'll give you real estate examples of these, okay? The next pillar, showcase work, before and afters, reviews, completed projects, closed deals. These are just a few examples, okay? The next is community. Events happening, especially in real estate. Real estate is still a very local business, okay? Things happening in our community, news, bulletins, and my favorite of all, which is entertainment. And by the way, for those of you that just did a funny video on Instagram or Facebook, dancing in the hallway of the office, it does provide value. It's entertainment, okay? I'm a big fan of Ryan Serhant. I know every real estate agent is following his content. If you notice, his content is mostly based on entertainment. He literally just cracks jokes all the time. He goes through these listings and he entertains us. There is value in that. It makes us smile. So if you're a joker, if you can dance, if you can sing, put it out there. It's engaging and it does provide value, okay? The next column, which is probably my least favorite column, is corporate, okay? I'm a big fan of employee and team recognition. I'm a big fan of about us, looking under the hood of what's happening in your team. New hires, okay. Awards, we'll talk about that, okay? Promotional, sales, new services, discounts, limited offers, and new programs. We're gonna expand on this category quite a bit because you really have an amazing opportunity with this category to actually generate leads in partnership with your loan officer. Okay, so we'll talk about that. Now, most brands, okay, hang out in the red too much. This is the big mistake in social media, and I want you guys to try to avoid it, okay? And you know what I'm talking about. You go through your social media, you guys are all friends with each other on social, and you notice the guy that got the top 5% of real estate agents in, Westlake, Florida, every other post is his award. Every other post is telling people how many listings he did. Every other post is talking about how great he is. It's a real freaking turnoff, okay? It's important to tell people when you got an award, but leave it there, okay? Don't harp on it over and over, because if you do, this is what happens. And it's called narcissism. And if you want the ultimate way of turning off your audience, you can tell people how great you are over and over and over. I promise you will lose followers, you will lose clients, you'll probably lose friends too. So try to stay away from that category as much as possible. It's something you sprinkle in to your social media content, but it should not be your focus. Does that make sense? Now let's go into specific topics, okay? Educate, obviously I gave you the subcategories which show up here on the left, which are hacks, tips, how-tos, and tutorials. But let's jump into real estate specific examples, okay? Buyer tips, seller tips. And guys, you don't need to originate these ideas. Go online to Google, search top 20 buyer tips. Repurposed really good content that's out there. Obviously rewrite it in your own tone, but if you can't come up with an idea, just Google it. It's literally that simple, okay? Offer hacks, how to create winning offers. In this market, this is a big one. I've seen some really awesome posts get shared hundreds of times that talked about how to write an offer letter and putting pictures of your kids with your dog, like everyone's in the picture, how to write those offers. And I've seen posts like that go viral. Okay, those are fantastic. How to sell your house for more than asking. Obviously in this market, it's not very difficult, but do not underestimate greed. You write a post like that, even though everyone knows they're getting more than asking, they want to get more than asking as well. So posts like that are fantastic as well. And also it establishes you as an authority if you're trying to get listing appointments, okay? Do-it-yourself staging tips and just staging tips in general are obviously very beneficial. These are examples. What I would suggest for you guys is obviously when I send this over, use this as a starting point, okay? But you don't have to perfectly follow it, add to it. There's a reason there's a bunch of white space here on the page, okay? Showcasing work, closed deal testimonials. Those are phenomenal for establishing trust. Partner testimonial, get a testimonial from your loan officer, right? Closing day pictures with that big cardboard key. People love those things. Also, anytime you're showcasing work, you have the opportunity to tag the people involved in the transaction. And when you do that, it's one of the great ways for your post to go viral. All of a sudden, you're tagging the husband, the wife, the daughter, the mortgage, your loan officer. Everyone's being tagged, everyone's sharing. So your post that could have otherwise gone out to 100 or 1,000 people, depending on what your audience looks like, all of a sudden gets amplified 3, 4, 5x, and it hits 5,000 people, okay? And it creates a buzz, and people will say, hey, who's that realtor you used? I saw you post the other day. I'm looking to buy a house, okay? So again, although the main intention of social media is keeping top of mind, you will get leads if you're doing it effectively, okay? Before and after renovations, these are always great. I see a lot of people posting homes saying, This home is the most stunning home, and it's a junker. If you know it's being renovated, maybe mention it in your post and try to do the after. Even if it's your client that bought the house 6 months ago, and they're showing you the after, it's very effective. Community, okay? Another great opportunity to have your post get amplified. Client meetings. Snap a picture. Obviously, this isn't the stuff that's pre-planned, but snap a picture, tag them, and you'll amplify that message. Open houses are great. Networking functions, town day, volunteering, karaoke with your clients and loan officer, those are fun. And videos of you doing shots with your favorite loan officer as well. Don't underestimate that. That's very effective too. All right, corporate. This is again, my least favorite category. New hire announcements. So your team is expanding. Let your audience know it is expanding, okay? It shows that you're successful. People don't want to do business with an unsuccessful real estate agent. They want to do business with the guy or the gal that is growing, okay? If you receive the top producer award, post it. Don't post the darn thing every day, but put it out there, okay? That's not narcissistic, it's the truth. And the value that something like that is providing is it's helping to establish more trust, which people are looking for. It's valuable to them, okay? Employee of the month, you've got a team of 10 people, that sort of thing. And also meet the team. The meet the team is probably the best part of the corporate pillar, okay? People love looking under the hood, behind the curtain, what you guys are of, where you're from, what you're about, where you live, where you went to school, or your team members. Those are fantastic, okay? And then we have a promotional, okay? These should not be a consistent thing. You're not Groupon, so I wouldn't fill your feed with this, but if you wanted to dedicate 1 day a week to it, it's a good thing. Price reductions, obviously, it's not happening much, so maybe next year, but if you do happen to have a price reduction, that's one example. New loan programs. Guys, take advantage of this with your LO, okay? The most successful real estate agents we work with, the guys that are hitting home runs, they're working very, very closely with their LO, and they know what's coming down the pipeline for loan programs, okay? There's some banks doing 0%. There's bank statement products right now. There's a misconception out there right now in the marketplace because of the media that every single buyer is showing up with a bag of cash and buying every single home in that way. And what it's doing, the media is actually pushing a lot of very well qualified buyers to just not even try, okay? So find out what your loan programs are that are new, that are innovative. Put them out there as bait in partnership with your LOs, tag everybody involved, and that is an amazing way to bait in new buyer clients, okay? Also, it's a great way to get listings as well. There are a lot of people that want to sell their home that have a ton of equity, but guess what? They don't feel that they could qualify for another house if they had to move, okay? This happens a lot, okay? So believe it or not, by putting out new loan programs, okay, you might actually be able to pull listings. So something to keep in mind. Also, another little nugget there, free staging, okay? Let's talk about execution, okay? A simple way to execute the 5 pillars of social media if you were posting once every business day. One is on a Monday, you educate them. On a Tuesday, you showcase some more. On a Wednesday, You have community on a Thursday, corporate on Friday, you're doing something promotional. Again, this isn't set in stone, but if you're looking for a simple, executable framework, this seems to work pretty darn well, okay? This is something you can print out, guys, okay? I like to plan, with the exception of things like client meetings and one-off events. We plan most social media a month in advance for clients. You can do this for yourself as well. So I'm going to include this little social media calendar you can use. And at the top, you'll see that basic framework: Monday, educate; Tuesday, showcase work, and so on, okay? This is another little worksheet that we use with clients, okay? So if we know we're doing 20 posts for next month, okay, we're doing 20 posts for February. Inside of January, I might want to plan out what those posts are going to look like. So I literally just fill in this worksheet. For how-to posts, those are my Monday posts. For closed deal posts, God willing you have that many deals closing, I hope you do. For event posts, for employee recognition posts, for new listing posts. This is just a worksheet. You can fill this in with anything you want, okay? I'm a big fan of batching because it makes me far more efficient. I'm stuck in my office, my home office, all day today, okay? And in fact, I've been like that the last week. I haven't had the opportunity to have a meeting with a client out there at a coffee shop or something where I can tag them and do those one-off posts. So if you're stuck doing chores with your family, you don't have any meetings planned today, this also ensures that your social media feed has something there for your audience. You don't want crickets in your feed. People will think you're out of business, okay? And that, by the way, is the perception these days. When people are quiet on social, they think they're not doing anything, okay? A couple of tools that I want to share here. I'm sure, David, you've used this a bunch. You have Facebook Creator Studio, okay? So if you are planning posts in advance, you can go into this. This is a 100% free tool that you can use. It links up with Facebook and Instagram, and you can actually create posts and schedule them weeks, even months in advance, okay? So take advantage of that. Again, Facebook Creator Studio, if you Google search it, it'll pop right up, and it's 100% free. Let's see here. So I think I see some questions, guys. My apologies, I didn't see the pop-ups. Let's address these. Bear with me. What are your thoughts on having a business Facebook and a personal page? Should I just have one? That's a great question. It's a challenge. It's a real challenge for personal brands, right? Because you might want to post videos about fishing, and half of the videos on my personal brand are about making coffee throughout the day, because that's all I do. But I suggest that if you're a real estate agent, the reality is you're a real estate agent, and that's your personal brand, and that's where you're living. So I suggest running everything through your business brand. Also, if you're only running a personal page, you actually lose a lot of the functionality, the ability to run ads. You lose the ability to use a lot of the tools like Facebook Creator Studio, and even what I'm showing you now, which is Sprout Social, and I'll explain what that is. So I suggest running or sticking to one page. Make it a personal brand page, and then obviously have the majority of your content being real estate related. Okay, that's just the industry we're in. If you were the owner of Coldwell Banker, okay, and you wanted to run a personal page, and then you're running the Coldwell Banker page, I get that. But real estate is that unique business, okay? You mentioned Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram only. With all the censorship that has gone on now, Many people are on other social media outlets like Telegram, Getter, Rumble, BitChute, and others. What are your suggestions for using these? It's a great question. I mean, with real estate, you know, you're not being censored. So I just got into Getter because Joe Rogan told me to. I tried Telegram, but the reality is people aren't there yet, okay? It's still sort of the fringes. So I'm going where the eyeballs are going. So if the mainstream is buying homes and the mainstream is hanging out on Instagram right now, I'm hanging out there. If they're hanging out in TikTok, by the way, and that is the other big source that you can focus on, I'd hang out there. Right now, it seems for real estate, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, seems to be the mother trucker of real estate marketing right now. It's Instagram. You have LinkedIn, a little Twitter, and then TikTok is stealing the show as well. The tools I'm mentioning here, by the way, have nothing to do with TikTok. TikTok sort of works on its own. This tool specifically, Sprout Social, this allows you to plan your content and distribute it across Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, but not TikTok or Instagram Reels. Let's see. No, but many people are off Facebook and are only on others. Yeah, that's true. You know, if they're only on TikTok and Instagram, then I'm hanging out there. You know, for those that are on Getter and Rumble, I mean, with Getter is basically a Twitter. So if you want to take this content creation strategy and place the content on these platforms, go ahead and do it. Keep in mind, this is a content creation strategy more than it is, it's not agnostic to a specific channel, okay? Or you're not limited to a specific channel. So you can use this as a content creation strategy, and anywhere you want to place your content, anywhere you feel your audience is going, go ahead and do it. You can even use this content creation strategy for email marketing. Guys, I'm going to share a couple of tools here for you guys. For those of you that need a place to get images, stock.adobe.com, design. Canva is a free tool that even large enterprises are using. You can use it for free and create absolutely beautiful images. I actually created the images of me in the first couple of slides using Canva. You can take a picture of yourself and actually remove the background. You could be anywhere and remove the background. This is more of a fun tool I'm giving you guys. It's called Content Row. This is hyperlinked, so you can check it out later. It's actually a little creepy. You can pop your headlines. So the headlines you're gonna put in these posts, you can pop them into Content Row, and it will actually tell you the likelihood of having people click on those headlines. There's a paid upgrade to the site too that will rewrite your headlines as well to make them more clickable. It's a little creepy, but it's kind of a fun thing to mess with. And then you have distribution and scheduling, the things I already mentioned here. Scheduled stories. This is not recommended for personal brands, but I'm going to include it anyway. Sometimes you want to schedule something that's going to hit your stories. Creator Studio doesn't let you do it. At least I don't think it lets you do it. It didn't the last time I checked. And also, you can't do it with any of the third-party software, but this piece of software, Storito, if you literally just Google Storito, it syncs up with your Instagram and Facebook, and you can schedule stories, okay? Now, I want to talk about stories briefly, okay? Let's not forget about stories, what they are and what they are not. Now, the content strategy that I'm giving you guys, it's a content strategy that will primarily live in your feed, okay? It's the stuff you're posting, whether it's a traditional post, traditional tweet, a LinkedIn post, or even ideas for things like Reels and TikToks. It's typically living in your feed. Don't make the mistake of using stories as a place to create content. It's a huge turnoff. Stories, obviously originally created at Snapchat, or Snap, which it's called now, it was created as a place for you to document, okay? Your feed is where you add content. Your stories, it's where you're documenting your day, okay? To the left, you see a very juicy search engine optimization secret post that we created months ago, okay? To the right, you see a post of me showing my sneakers. This post had incredible engagement, and it's not because I have beautiful feet or sneakers, it's because people, for some reason, I'm not a psychologist, they love going along with you throughout your journey, okay? Keep documentaries in mind. Documentaries are literally just documenting something that has happened. Reality TV, reality shows don't create anything. You're literally watching people eat, you're watching Kim Kardashian eat a salad. You're like, and people are totally engaged, okay? So with that being said, use stories to document what's going on in your day, and don't underestimate how interesting people find you, okay? If you just made a cup of coffee and you took a sip of it, there's a good chance if you posted that, you might have more engagement than the 10 slide carousel post that I have here on the left that took us, 3 hours to create and write, okay? It's a funny thing, but stories are one of the great opportunities right now. Just document your day, what's happening. Don't feel the need to create, okay? Engage people by showing them under the hood of what's happening in your life, and you will have incredible engagement. Keep it light, keep it funny. So guys, that is the end of the presentation. I'm going to open this up for questions. Let's see here. Bear with me. All right, Tammy, how often should you update stories? Should you always have something there, video or picture better? I'm going to answer that with a slide I had earlier, which was more is more, less is less. So the more you can show people your day and what's happening throughout the day, the better. Should it be video or picture? I don't have data behind video versus picture. I think it should be a mix. Pictures speak 1,000 words, so I do a lot of pictures in my personal feed and the company feed, but I think it should be a mix. Stories is not something you plan. Just take people along in your journey. I have seen some people, they'll have 200 stories in a given day. You probably don't want to do that. That's like, you probably should be on YouTube if you're doing that. You're creating a documentary and it's just boring. That's probably want to relax there. But stories, again, people are looking under the hood here. Tags, how many is too many? Great question, Tracy. No one's giving us official data on tags, okay? And I haven't seen tags make or break my content. So I've tried posts with 3 tags. I've tried posts with 30. We've tested everything. We have yet to see a significant difference. One thing I will tell you though is you can screw up tags, okay? And the way you screw up tags is you use tags to write a sentence, okay? For example, there's a picture of me eating grilled cheese here. There are some people that will post this picture on Instagram and they will create a tag that says, grilled cheese in grilled cheese, Newton, Massachusetts is the best. And it's literally a whole sentence. Then no one's following that tag. And there's a chance no one's going to be creating content around that tag either. So if you're gonna create content and add a tag to it, you can do a little research. And oh, you're from Arlington. All right, now we're talking. So yeah, if you're going to use tags, maybe research the tags. If you're a real estate agent, you can localize those tags. So if something's going on in Arlington, you could hashtag Arlington. There are people that are literally following the hashtag Arlington and you'll show up. Your thoughts on best use of Instagram Reels? Okay, I love this question. So Reels, just like TikTok, you should be using it. It's the easiest way for your content to go viral beyond your audience right now, okay? So if you post, let's say you use this strategy, create a valuable post, something of value, a piece of news around real estate. Let's say it's that, right? And you post it on Reels and it has benefit. Reels or Instagram will serve that up. This isn't the exact algorithm, but this is what we feel. It will serve up that reel to your audience, first of all, okay? And let's say your audience is 100 people, okay? And very, very quickly, a high percentage of those people that got your reel engage in the reel. Engagement meaning they watched it multiple times, they commented, they liked, they shared, they DM'd you, they saved, okay? If you have a high percentage of people that do that, Instagram as well as TikTok will serve it up to another 100 people, okay, that aren't necessarily even in your audience. If you have high engagement rates with that next 100-person audience, Instagram will now serve it up to 500. And if the same thing keeps happening, that's how a post can go viral. And all of a sudden, you created something and 300,000 people have seen it, okay? You're creating value, you're getting those high engagement rates, and that's why your posts go viral. One of the hacks behind that is people in their posts will literally say, if you like this, like, comment, share, save. They'll actually ask you to do it. From what we understand though, the algorithm is now, it's analyzing people asking you to do those things and is actually penalizing you for the ask. So you just got to produce value and let the results speak for themselves. So, David, do we want to, let's see here, maybe unshare the presentation? That way we can open it up for more questions. Let's see here, let me see if I can do that. Are you guys still seeing my screen?
No, you unshared.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So if
So
anyone
I
wants
want
to ask questions, feel free to speak up or comment in the comments.
Yeah, feel free to just jump on the mic, guys. You don't even have to throw it in the chat.
Where's the best place to find hashtags?
I'll get you guys a hashtag research tool. You know what I'll do? I'll edit this this PDF before I send it to you guys, and I'll give you a few third-party sites that you can research them.
Great.
So, any other questions?
What about streaming lives? Do you have any insight into that and you know, those platforms that stream it both to Instagram and Facebook at the same time?
I haven't used, so you have these platforms that allow you to do distribution to multiple platforms at once. I haven't done it. Actually, the way I've done that, it sounds pretty prehistoric. I literally have multiple devices, so I will turn them all on. I have a little stand that will hold them on. And actually, a lot of content producers do that. I think going live is awesome. As long as you're doing it at the right time and enough people are hanging out, that they can jump on with you. I think it's fantastic. You can still use the content or the 5-pillar strategy for going live. So you can pre-plan your live and have content you're going to be presenting on the live. Live is just another way to distribute that valuable content. Some people will go live and literally just still be like walking around their house. You know, it's not very valuable. You probably want to keep that inside of your stories, but going live is awesome. Do it as much as possible. In fact, there are people that are spending time planning their lives, and they're using it in the same way people in the old days pre-programmed content for television, okay? Live TV, you can do the exact same thing with social now, and it's free. It's fantastic.
So we have used a tool that was pretty successful, which was StreamYard. If you guys want to check into that, that will go live and also distribute to multiple social media platforms. And it's pretty easy to use, except for I accidentally pushed the go live button when I wasn't ready and recorded about an hour worth of footage that fed. So be careful.
Thank you, Elaine. Yeah, more importantly, it's how you share their content afterwards, correct? If you're creating valuable content, yeah, all of a sudden, you know, you're creating evergreen content as well. So yeah, I would say that's a big part of it. But there is something kind of special about lives, and you've seen this, Tammy, because you've been so all over this. There's something about, there's kind of a certain vulnerability when you go live. Like, you know, it can't be filtered. It can't really be edited even after the fact through social media. So there's something a little bit more special about going live. But yeah, that content, it can be evergreen in your feeds. You can save it, you can redistribute it. But I don't think that would be the main purpose of it. I think the main purpose of live is to go live and have those benefits. It's a little raw, it's a little unscripted, and people love it. You know, it's kind of like this, you know, I can send people a video of this content, but there's something about engaging and having people being part of the experience that it's a game changer. So
yeah, if anybody's interested in going live at like their open houses or something, call me. I'll absolutely lead it, and we'll go live. And then also, if you guys have or are looking for content to share, I do have a couple different programs that I use or that I sponsor agents on that does have a lot of good information to educate buyers. So if you're interested in that, I can send you all out a link for that too.
Yeah, guys, the marketing partnership of GR right now, I work with all of the lenders. No one's even close. It's not even, it's like, here's GR and here's the #2 company in terms of marketing partnerships. It's not even anywhere in the ballpark. So take advantage of what Tammy and David have to offer. Their stuff is awesome. They can really set you guys up on autopilot in a lot of ways. What I mentioned earlier too, about the new loan programs that are coming out, I'm harping on agents right now about being on the phone with Tammy, with their LO a lot. Like, you should be meeting them once per week, because the guidelines are changing so quickly right now, and that content is juicy. You talk about value, it's so good, it's so juicy. People are consuming it and they're sharing it, and it doesn't take a lot to create it. If you do nothing else but literally push out new loan programs, I guarantee you will get more listings because of what I mentioned earlier. A lot of sellers are scared to sell because they don't think they have a loan program that they can use to move, you know? So, and you're getting potential buyers. So you're not just getting buyers, and that is one of the massive benefits here of pushing that type of content out. So, any other questions, guys?
Well, I was just going to mention, Tammy and I did a collaboration on a Facebook Live that was really great. You know, kind of going in what you're saying about all the information that she had to give. It was really informative, and then it was coming directly from her. And so if anybody wanted to do something like that, I thought it was a really great the whole thing, the whole experience was awesome for my clients.
Yep, well, because then we're sharing it to 2 databases too. It's being shared to my database and then, or whoever I have following
Your
my
Facebook.
friends, and then your friends and on whoever's following you, which is good because we kind of hit them both up.
And if you guys want tips and advice on social media, I mean, if you want someone to emulate, look at the work Tammy and David are doing. Their feeds are awesome. Like, so you can follow us, and we do this all day, but their stuff is awesome. So I give you, you know, if I had a hat, I'd tip it to you guys because your work is just so good. So guys, if we don't have any additional questions, I have to jump because we have another realtor group who have to help as well. I want to thank you guys so much for having me on. I'm going to share that presentation. I'll make sure I update it with the hashtag tools that I think will be good. I'll put a little disclosure in there. Don't get too hung up on the hashtags. Stick to creating valuable content. Your engagement rates will get your content to go viral much easier than your hashtags. So it's more about the content. You could throw in any old hashtag if you have good content and it'll work, okay?
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank
Nick.
you so much, Nick.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Happy
Thank you
selling.
guys for attending. Thanks, Nick.